Content warning. Cursing. The dream.
This is Zoe in Ottawa, and this is a recurring nightmare that I had as a small child. My younger brother and I had to accompany my dad to a meeting. We entered into a waiting room filled with familiar faces. Babar, Curious George, and some other children. It was a mix of cartoon and real life. My dad told us that the meeting was no children allowed, so we'd have to stay in this room while he went to listen. There was an open doorway to the meeting hall, and peeking through, we could see it was filled with scary-looking people and all of the evil cartoon characters. There was Ursula, some pirates, and the meeting was being led by Scar on a raised platform at the front of the crowd. It wasn't long before my little brother decided that he was bored of waiting and snuck into the meeting. I hissed at him, but followed, as was my duty as an older sister. We snuck through the legs of the crowd to the back of the room, avoiding our dad, who was watching with arms crossed near the back of the crowd. I saw a place to hide and yanked my brother back with me to where a huge wardrobe, from Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe, was standing. We hid inside, peeking through the crack in the doors and the keyholes, trying not to make noise or get caught. A witch was on stage, with Scar now. A real-life witch, with gauzy gray clothing, bandages over her eyes, and a hooked nose like the Wicked Witch of the West. Suddenly she whipped her head back, with her nose stuck straight in the air, and inhaled deeply. My brother and I jostled each other, each trying to get a good view and shushing. "Wait!" she screeched. "I smell something." She starts to move into the crowd, and the room becomes uneasy. Everyone's looking around. "I smell." At this point, my brother and I burst from the wardrobe in a flurry of limbs, falling all over each other like a couple of puppies, and land in a bewildered little pile. My dad sees us, gives this look like, I know exactly what's going on, and immediately goes into dad emergency mode. He whips us up off the floor, one onto each shoulder. The witch is pointing, screaming, running behind us, and my dad is full-on running to the door. "I smell cheese and crackers! Cheese and crackers!"
What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean?
Well, that was a real twist at the end, I found.
Which part? What was the twist?
Oh, like that the witch is crying cheese and crackers?
Well, what meaning do you draw from that?
I don't know.
Oh. So my automatic read of that was that the witch could smell that there were children in the room because children eat cheese and crackers as a snack. So it was like the witch was like, "What smells like cheese and crackers in here? It must be children."
Oh.
That was my read.
I thought she was like, "I smell..." Oh, maybe she never said children, did she?
No.
I was just like, she definitely smells the children. And then she says cheese and crackers, and you're like, did she just 180 and she's just become distracted? Like, she's hungry now? Or she seems evil because she looks like evil. She looks evil like a witch.
Oh.
And then actually she's just like, I'm into cheese and crackers. I want that. Like, it's the reception of the meeting now. Like, it's a classic food to have at the break of a meeting.
Okay, so in your read of this dream, there's like no emergency in that moment. It's actually just, you don't need to be afraid of that witch. She's just hungry.
Yeah, no, like, it totally, because the whole time he's like building tension. Like, they're gonna get caught. Oh my god, they fell out. Like, they're gonna, like, the dad's like, gotta rescue them, gotta get out of there, there's danger. But then it's like, she's not even, like, to me, I guess it's just to me, cheese and crackers. I'm thinking like wine and cheese. I'm not thinking like Ritz snack for children.
Oh, I see.
That's my first association is like not as a child food. Yeah. So I guess maybe that's the difference.
Okay, yeah, because my first association with cheese and crackers, definitely children. Definitely child snack. Huh. And like wine and cheese for sure. I'm like adults, but I wouldn't describe when adults are eating cheese and crackers. It's like I wouldn't often think of it. People like say like, oh, a cheese platter or whatever. It sounds like grown up.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, so for me, like the tension is still high in that moment where the nightmare ends. You know, it's like it's like she's screaming cheese and crackers because she's found them out because she smells it on them.
And the dad's like gathering them up and is like getting out of there because she's after them.
Booking it out because all the bad guys are going to realize.
Okay, so what about this?
Rules.
The dad, okay, So the dad is in this meeting of evil stuff, but then still rescues them.
Yeah.
Like, he's not evil, he's just there pretending because he's an adult.
I know, it's like he's not a bad guy, but for some reason...
Is this like deeply ingrained, like stranger danger? Like, all adults are evil, but except for me, your dad? Like, I might look like all the other adults, but like, they're all evil, and I'm okay?
Right. Maybe. But, I mean, like, there's a... Okay, yeah, let me think about that for a second. I wonder if, like... So, Curious George and Babar are the only cartoons that she mentioned being in the other room where all the kids also were.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, Curious George is definitely very childlike in the books. And then Babar, for at least the beginning, he's a child, but then he grows up. But I wonder if it was the baby version of him. Do you even know what any of these things are, by the way, Miss No TV as a child?
Yeah,
I mean,
I like, 50-50. But Babar, yeah. Curious George, yeah.
Okay. Ursula? Do you know who Ursula is? Do you know who Scar is?
Yeah.
Okay. Ursula's like in The Little Mermaid. There's an evil sea witch whose bottom half is an octopus in the Disney version. And the cartoon version apparently was actually drawn and based after this really famous drag queen. And I can't remember the drag queen's name, but anyway, she got real style. Ursula does.
But is evil?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she she steals she gives the Little Mermaid legs in exchange for the Little Mermaid giving her voice. Which seems like a fair trade because that's powerful magic. But then she really fucks with the Little Mermaid because she then takes on the Little Mermaid's voice, transforms herself into a hot babe, and then goes to steal the prince from the Little Mermaid at the last minute.
All that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it somehow it all gets foiled, and she becomes big and scary again. But, yeah.
So, I mean, like, were you saying that maybe all of the things, it wasn't so much good and evil, but all the things in the outside waiting room were children and all the things in the thing were adults? Because I think she did say that it was all evil character.
Yeah, I mean, it is for sure also divided along good and evil lines, but it's just that when you pointed out, like, that it's adults in the big room, like, all of the characters that she describes in the meeting room are adult evil characters, and the only two characters she mentioned in the nice room or the room where they were supposed to stay were potentially like childlike characters.
Are all Disney movies have evil adults and the protagonist is young?
Oh, yeah. I think that's certainly true, that there are always, the main character is at some point quite young.
I guess that one that's like Snow White or like they're like
young adults, it's like they're never middle-aged.
No,
but they're not always full children.
Why would you make a movie about middle-aged people for children to watch? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like Aladdin and the Little Mermaid, they're all like kind of teenagers or something.
Yeah.
But the bad guys are always grown-ups or adult things. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, why aren't there child villains?
Yeah, let me think about that. Are there any examples that I can think of in a Disney movie where a child... Nah, I can't think of any. Not in Disney movies. I can think of, like... I feel like in other cartoons that I watched as a kid, there would be, like, bully kids and stuff.
Yeah.
But Disney movies, there's always some, like, really powerfully evil grown-up person who's trying to fuck with you.
Yeah, because it is always like, they're always very powerful. And maybe they just can't give like a young person that kind of power, or it seems out of place.
Yeah, it would be too complex, I think. I don't know. Or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so grown-ups, but they really are, it's like you've got evil sea witch, you know, who really messes with people. You got pirates who presumably are murderers and all that. And then you've got Scar who like murders his brother and tries to murder his nephew to take power and exploit everyone. And then, why is Dad there? Why is he there? What's he doing?
Yeah.
What's his role?
Some shady company he's keeping, that's for sure.
It is. Like, is this something that adults have to do? They have to, like, walk this line where they're, like, implicated in evil, kind of, and they try and shield their kids from it?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it kind of fits in, like, I mean, the extent to which I feel like most people I would have experienced that is, like, all adults are clearly boring. They're all just super boring, except my parents are fun.
Yeah.
Because, like, they play with me, and, like, that's cool. But then when they have parties, it's, like, super boring times.
Uh-huh.
So it's, like, if you extend that one step further, and they're not just all boring, but they're all evil, it's the same thing where, like, your parents aren't evil because they're cool and they take care of you and they play with you and stuff. But then when they go to meetings, they're all evil.
Huh.
They just do evil adult stuff, and then...
They do evil adult stuff. I mean, it's interesting because in the context of the dream, I feel like one could read the dad being there as very sinister, but that tone never feels like it comes in. Like, he does never feel implicated, really. It's like the kids, immediately when he sees that his kids are there, he's like, good dad. You know, he's like, oh, gotta get you guys out of here. Gotta scoop you up and get you out of this mischief.
Yeah.
But it's like, Dad, you're the one in mischief right now. You've been
Yeah.
caught. You're listening
right.
to,
It
like...
never felt like when they were going there, it was never like... It's like, oh yeah, we'll wait in the waiting room. Is this an adult meeting? Like, it's, you know, it's kind of like, the whole thing says boring to me. It's like she's confused boring and evil.
So does it make sense to conflate those things? I mean, okay, this is maybe a reach, but like politics and political processes, I feel like, especially as a child, but even as an adult, can often become layered behind a lot of like really on paper boring things. Or like, you know, you can bury really like evil policies within these like opaque, horrible things to go through and sort out. And it's like so boring that you can't actually get at the evil to fix it because it's like too heavy and like dull and like, ugh, you know? Is that... that might just be a different thing, but...
No, I'm into it. I mean, yeah. So this dream is just like a child's intuition sensing the perils of heavy bureaucracy.
Yeah, that there's just bad shit going on within meetings and planning, but it's like, it's just got this like, you know, layer over it that's like grown up stuff. So you don't go near it. But like, and like even good people who you trust are implicated in it, you know? And like the dad never feels like he's evil, but he's somehow implicated in this evil.
Yeah, because he's an adult person just existing in the world, you know? Nobody's neutral.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder, like, yeah, what would I want from this dream if I were in Zoe's position? I guess I would want it to somehow resolve through being able to confront the dad about why he's there and what actually is going on. You know, be like, look, I've seen you now. I know I wasn't supposed to be in there, but now I've seen it and you have to explain yourself.
Yeah, like, what was this meeting and why were you at it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't even feel like that probably matters to the dreamer. They're just like, my dad rescued me.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, yeah, like it's all being seen through the eyes. Like she said, it was a recurring nightmare that she had when she was a small child. But it's interesting that it's recurring, you know? It's like, what is it that's driving... Like, it would be less perplexing if the dad wasn't involved. If she was just at this thing with her brother, there's the good side where all the kids are and the bad side where all the adults are.
Yeah.
Or like where all the bad guys are from the movies. That would feel less... There's something that, like, I feel like just don't know how to quite get at with the fact that the dad is involved. But I guess we've sort of talked about it. It's just like the idea of adulthood, maybe.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem fraught to her that he's there, which to me it really feels like it is.
Yeah, I know. Maybe her dad's actually evil.
Maybe we all are, you know? Because we're all adults now. So we're all tainted by having grown up in the world that we live in.
That's a dark take, but I accept it.
There you go. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. Help us keep making this by subscribing to and reviewing the podcast wherever you listen to it, and following and liking us on social media.
If you love this, you can support us on Patreon.
We will reward you.